So this video is going to be a little bit about our wandering around Patna with Uncle Jack. It's going to start off eavesdropping on one of his many stories. I didn't get as much of that as I would like. Don't like necessarily pointing the camera at him all the time. Then we're going to see his motorcycle, and then we took a trip partly by walking and then partly by auto rickshaw down to the Ganges, and we'll see how that went.
South of us, what they call tribal. Anyway, another teacher, a lady teacher, he made a friend, and this lady teacher had a brother or somebody. They went out overnight to visit some relative. Center of balance is low. So
Yeah.
even if you get a skid, it won't. You won't end up in a ditch.
And there's somebody here who knows how to work on this bike?
Oh yeah, I have a mechanic.
So Uncle Jack got that motorcycle in 1973, and my son has been on the back of it as recently as 1 month ago. So now we're walking from his house down a side street to trying to get to a larger street where we can pick up an auto rickshaw. We are headed to the Ganges River. It's about 95 degrees, 100% humidity, but Debbie has to cover up because that's what you do. So this is after Uncle Jack flagged us down a auto rickshaw. We probably paid a couple bucks for it to drive us all about 3 or 4 miles to the river.
Yeah, it's amazing. What's so interesting from our traveling is that you realize you can color when you see it in comparison. It's very interesting. And the architecture, the fact that none of the wiring is below ground, it's like on and on and on. The humidity alone.
Ah, blessed relief. We're off the main drag, sitting quietly in the shade. So this is the Ganges, and across the river there is another city. I forget the name. And there's a very, very long bridge, one of the longest land bridges to cross a river in the world, just down the road a bit. Now this is something you see a lot. Most of the dogs are in that position for most of their lives in India.
And it is socialist. Everyone has enough. Everyone's paid for. Everyone's educated.
So we're going back into the fray now. We flagged down an auto rickshaw, and he was going to charge twice as much to take us home, and he convinced Uncle Jack that in fact it was worth it because he had to take a special route because the roads were closed. Well, he was right. The roads were absolutely blocked by protesters. Some students were sitting down in the road and protesting something, so we paid him a couple bucks for his trouble after he couldn't get around them, and we walked. Then, back at our hotel, we looked out the window, we heard a lot of music, and there was a parade going on. It turns out it's a wedding. There's something out of Dr. Seuss there, a bunch of speakers and sound, and an elephant and a camel and a wedding party.
But it's not wedding season. What's the string for?
at the speakers on that thing. Looks like something out of Dr. Zeus.
Yeah.
So it would appear that if you're a guest at one of these weddings, you really have to earn your dinner. These people all took part in a very long procession in the heat and humidity. That was our visit to Patna, and I will leave you with this quote from The Lonely Planet. It says, "There's nothing for the traveler along the Ganges River itself, and Patna only has a handful of worthwhile sights. Otherwise, it's a chaotic eyesore that would be an odd place to voluntarily spend any considerable length of time." Well, that's why we then packed it up and went with Uncle Jack to Varanasi.